everybody. I'm here with C. Thomas, who is a Fletcher graduate, but he is also a major in the U.S. Marine Corps, which I know he's proud of. We're proud of him as well. So if I can ask, C, talk to me a little about your current job, which I think is a very interesting one.
I'm currently the speechwriter to the Commandant of the Marine Corps. It's a tremendous job, fascinating position.
Did you work initially for General Dunford and transition to General Neller, or did you come on with General Neller?
I did. For my first 3 months in the job, I worked for General Dunford.
Right, and I got to hit pause
Sure.
because General Dunford, the Commandant of the Marine Corps and currently the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, is a Fletcher graduate. So we're really proud of General Dunford. But now you're working for General Neller, who's a terrific officer as well,
Absolutely.
in my view.
Absolutely.
How often do you write a speech for him?
We do probably 1 to 2 speaking events per week, or at least I do. We've got two writers.
Yeah.
So between writing and research, and we do some of his executive level correspondence and letters and the such.
What a fascinating job to try and also get into his voice, and so it must be a fascinating place to work.
Absolutely.
So talk to me a little, C, about why Fletcher.
I went to Fletcher, or chose to go to Fletcher. I knew I wanted to study international relations, and I think Fletcher's the place to do that if you want to study IR. It had a tremendous reputation. I had some folks that I went to school with, and some others, some peers that were in other schools, and they kind of always talked about their faculty recommending Fletcher as the premier place to study. The second piece was really I wanted to come to Boston, and I think that Boston is a tremendous city to study in, and I think it's really unique in this country. Boston also has, because of all those students, it's got sort of an intellectual energy and that's unique, a sort of consciousness that I don't think you see in every other place.
So last question, how did what you studied at Fletcher and what you did there, how is that helping you in your career and your current positions?
Sure. I suppose the first thing, and I imagine most people say this, is it really opens up your aperture to the world outside of whatever you're comfortable with or whatever you know. So sort of the mini United Nations that exists at Fletcher. I'm normally, I'm a speechwriter right now, but I'm typically an intelligence officer, and I think in this day, especially doing sort of the kind of analysis that becomes valuable to decision makers requires really the kind of multi-dimensional background or multi-dimensional analysis that I think Fletcher provides you with. But I think more profoundly, I think it's affected a big chunk of my worldview. So it's made me, I think, much more optimistic.
Yeah.
There's I remember meeting so many folks that were at Fletcher, tremendously talented, smart people that had seen a lot, been exposed to a lot of violence, and they approached their studies and the world in an incredibly positive way. And I was really inspired by those students and some of my classmates.
What a wonderful comment, and I think particularly important in today's world when we see a lot of reasons for pessimism. But I think I agree with you that if we can harness the intellectual capital and the ability of our people, we can succeed as a world, and I think Fletcher's part of that. C, thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for your service as well.
Thank you.